Good afternoon,
Yes,
sir.
Okay, good afternoon. Okay, in today's class, we are going to discuss about orthographic projections. Okay, first we are going to discuss about projections, and then we move on to orthographic projections. Okay, and almost 70 to 80% of syllabus is based on the principle of orthographic projection. That's why the concepts of orthographic projections is very important for you. So you have seen projector. It will be used in film theater. Even it will be used to do PowerPoint presentation in classes and in companies. Okay. Uh, so you know how light rays will move from the projector to screen, or how light rays will fall on the screen of the projector. Okay, so light rays will diverge. If you look from this picture, if you look at this picture, the light rays will diverge. Okay, so again it depends on the amount of this divergence depends on the distance between the projector and the screen. Okay, depending on that, so you will get the enlarged image. Okay, this is about normal projection projector. So that means you are throwing some details to the screen. Okay, that is nothing but projection. Projection is nothing but throwing out. So next, by looking at this image, okay, you are able to identify the product. Okay, what is the product?
Car.
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 Okay, it is a car. Okay, that means in a single view, or in a single picture can give you an idea about the object, okay, or a product. But the problem is it possible to see all details of this car? Are you able to see all the details of the car?
No, sir.
Okay,
No,
what
sir.
are the details?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, what are the details which are invisible to you, which you cannot see? ಯಾವ್ದು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ?
Sir, interior. Sir, the other side of mirror.
Okay, other side of the car and rear end of the car. Okay, you cannot see the details of the rear end of the car, and you cannot see the details of this side. That means with the single view, you may be able to see some of the details, you may be able to identify the product or object, but you cannot get the overall picture of the product or overall picture of the object as you already identified. Okay, you are not able to see many details. It may be details of the interior of the car, or it may be details of the rear end of the car or the other side of the car, okay, which are invisible. But in engineering drawing, okay, people must be able to manufacture products by looking at the drawing. Suppose if you provide drawings like this, okay, it is not at all possible for manufacturing department of any company to produce a product based on the drawing you have provided. That means this type of 3D drawings, okay, by using these 3D drawings you cannot manufacture anything. For manufacturing a product or even for constructing a house, okay, so drawing should have each and every detail of the house, okay, if it is a civil drawing. Similarly, if it is a drawing of a car, okay, by looking at the drawing of the car, one who is manufacturing that car must be able to identify what is its size, what are the features, what must be its width of the car, what should be the height of the car, what should be the breadth of the car. Okay, so you must be able to visualize these things. Okay, so in order to do this, normal projection is not sufficient. Okay, for engineering drawing we need a different approach. Okay, that approach is provided by the orthographic projection. Okay, so here again same car, but you have three different views of a car. Okay, if you think, if you are viewing from this direction, okay, if we are viewing from observer is at this location, okay, then you are going to get the details of the car, okay, when you view this car from this direction. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಬಿಟ್ಟು ಈ ಕಾರ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ you are able to see all these details. Okay, next what details you can see are, if it is a three-dimensional image, okay, a three-dimensional representation. So in this view, okay, how many dimensions are visible to you? If you consider this as width of the car, and this as height of the car, and this as breadth of the car, okay, in this view or in this image, okay, how many details are visible? Whether it is a three-dimensional image, this one, only this one, okay, whether it is three-dimensional or two-dimensional.
Two-dimensional, sir.
Two-dimensional. Which are those dimensions you are able to see in this image? One is,
sir,
so you are length and
height.
Height. Okay, so you can consider this as length or width. Okay, you are able to see width, this dimension, or you can consider it as a length. Okay, you are able to see this dimension, width and height of the car, whereas breadth, it is not possible for you to visualize. Okay, again there is another view. Okay, you are able to get you are able to see car like this from which direction? So if you look from this direction, okay, you are able to see car, these details, you are able to see these details. Okay, from this end, what dimensions you are able to visualize? In consider
Height.
So height.
Height and breadth, whereas it is not possible for you to see the width of the car. Width of the car back, so you have to look from this direction. Okay, so you are able to see these details from which direction? This one.
Width.
So top view.
Top view. Okay, if you look from top, you are able to see these details of the car. If you look from this direction or this direction, you cannot see what is there at the top. In order to understand what is there at the top of the car, okay, you have to look from top. Okay, and in top view, what dimensions you can see, or what details you can see from top?
Length and breadth.
Length and breadth. Okay, so this dimension and this. So that means here, compared to this drawing, okay, or this representation, these three representations will provide you more number of details, but in a single view, you don't get all the details. That means we need to look at an object from different directions, and we have to club them in a drawing. Okay, then only you will get entire picture of a product, or full details of a product are available when you take views from different directions, and if you combine them. Okay, so you will get an idea regarding the entire object or the entire product. Okay, so in order to take this type of views, we make use of the principle of orthographic projection. Okay, in order to get two-dimensional details from a particular direction. Okay, so we make use of orthographic projection. Next, what do we call this view? Since if this is the direction of the observer, okay, if he is looking from front, it is called as front view. Okay, so this you are looking from top, that's why this is called as top view of the car, and this you are looking from this side. Okay, this is called as side view. Okay, like that we have front, top and side views. Okay, and if you combine these three, you will get clear picture about the car. Okay, so that is the importance of orthographic projection that we'll discuss in detail in today's session. Okay, this is the drawing, and again there is another problem with this representation. Here there are no dimensions. Okay, if there is no dimension, or if there are no dimensions mentioned specified in the drawing, then it is not possible to fabricate it, or it is not possible to convert it into its physical form. You need to know the size of the object or size of the product. Okay, so in this you are able to see this dimension. Okay, what should be its breadth, what should be its width, and what is the height. Okay, all these dimensions are available. Okay, so these are the orthographic views. This is the front view of the car, this is the top view. Okay, so this is the right view on left profile plane, and this is the car from another side. Okay, so these two are side views. This is the front view and this is the top view. Okay, so these are just for your understanding. Okay, for engineering drawing, in engineering drawing, what we need is, we need all details of an object or all details of a product, and also we need dimensions. That means we should know the actual size of the object. Okay, these are the requirements for engineering drawing: complete details of the object or product, and also dimensions. That means size of the object also should be represented in the drawing. Next, drawings for engineering practice. Okay, so solids may be depicted on a paper pictorially in its three-dimensional form, but not in its true shape and sizes. As we saw in the first image of the car, okay, you are able to see car as a three-dimensional image, but the problem is it is not possible to get true shape and size of the car in that view. Since pictorial drawings do not show the true shape of the solid, while reading a pictorial drawing, it will be very difficult to make out and clearly understand the details of the interior and exterior features of an object. As you identified, it is not possible for you to visualize the interior of the car, okay, by looking at the 3D drawing. And also it is not possible to see some of the exterior features also, that is rear end and the details on the other end. Okay. Therefore, pictorial drawings cannot be used more effectively in engineering practice for the construction or manufacturing. For use in engineering, the drawing should consist of true shape and size of an object. Okay, this is very important. So we have to construct drawing to its true shape and size. Then only it makes sense in engineering practice. This has been made possible by the principles of projection. So this is what we have visualized in that image of projector and screen. Okay. Similarly here also, if this is the position of the observer, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ಬ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಒಂದು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ನ. Okay. Then again, so the eye also will work similar to projector. Okay. Our rays, okay, so will fall on the object, and if you want to get this image on suppose on a plane of projection, you will get an image like this. This is the actual size of the object, and this is the image you obtained on the plane of projection. Okay, later we will discuss what do you mean by this plane of projection. Okay, if there is an object, and what you should remember is, okay, so if there is an object and if these visual rays, okay, so travel in a way where they are diverging, okay, then the image that you are going to get, so that is not to the actual size. This is the actual size of the object, but when you project it, so you are getting enlarged view. That means the size of the object has increased. But in engineering practice, what we want is, we want to get the actual size of the object. That means if you pass visual rays like this, that means if the visual rays diverge, then you are going to get the enlarged view. But in engineering practice, we don't want enlarged view. What we want is, we want actual size of the object. Okay, that you can obtain in orthographic projection. Here you can see, but the condition is observer should be at infinity. Okay, when observer is at infinite distance, then only the visual rays from the eyes of an observer will move parallel to each other. Okay, there are n number of rays. Here they have represented only 2. Okay, so there are n number of rays from the observer who is at infinite distance. Okay, because he is standing at infinite distance, these rays will travel. Okay, so parallel to one another, and so there's a difference between the drawing or the projection you are getting on this and this. What is the difference? Okay, in this case and this, what is the difference?
The rays are parallel to each other.
Okay, the rays are parallel to each other. Okay, then.
Sir, in second case, the size is same
Okay.
in plane of projection and the object size.
Okay, so in second case, that is when the rays travel parallel to each other, okay, we are going to get a projection which is having same size as that of the object, okay, which makes sense in engineering drawing. When we get the projection to the actual size of the object, okay, that is having importance in engineering drawing. So we are going to get actual size of the object when we pass these rays parallel to one another. Okay, that is one thing. Another thing is these rays should be perpendicular to plane of projection. Okay, in case of orthographic projection, you need to remember only 2 points. Okay, in orthographic projection, rays will travel parallel to one another. Okay, or in drawing we call this visual rays as projectors. Okay, another name for this visual rays is projectors. In orthographic projection, projectors are parallel to one another. If there are 100 projectors, all 100 will be parallel to one another. Okay, so that is the meaning of orthographic. Then these projectors, okay, will be focused on the plane of projection, or these will meet the plane of projection such that the angle between plane of projection and the projector is 90° to one another. Okay, this is the plane of projection which is vertical in orientation. The angle between projectors, this is the projector and this is the plane of projection, this angle is 90°. This angle is 90°. Okay, that's why it is called as orthographic projection. The reason why this is known as orthographic projection is the angle between the plane of projection and the projector is 90°. Ortho is nothing but it is 90°. Okay, because of this reason it is called as orthographic projection. What you should remember is in orthographic projection we are going to get the projection which is having same size as that of the object. That is one important point. Second thing is in orthographic projection, projectors or visual rays will move parallel to one another and they will fall on the screen or plane of projection at an angle of 90°. Okay, so these are the things you should remember. Okay, this is in case of normal projection. Okay, where rays will diverge. If rays diverge, it is not possible to get the actual size of the object. That is the problem with this type of projection. That's why we don't use this type of projection in engineering practice. We use, even if it is used, it is for representation purpose. We can understand the object. Okay, we are able to identify the object, but we cannot manufacture a product or object, okay, by looking at this type of projection or this type of pictorial drawing. Okay, next, principles of projection as we discussed. Okay, so this is the projection where in projection method all the faces of an object, both visible and invisible, are thrown forward onto a plane which is held normal to the direction of sight of the observer who is viewing the object. The figure formed on the plane of the projection of all the visible and invisible faces of both the interior and exterior of an object is called a view. This is called as view. Okay, and this is an enlarged view since it is not orthographic projection. This representation is not orthographic projection. Okay, so this is called as view. In engineering drawings, generally, more than one view of the object is projected to represent it in true sizes and shapes. So here you are going to get only enlarged view. In order to get true shape, okay, we use orthographic projection, where in a single view we are going to get only 2 dimensions, and if we combine them, as in case of the car example, okay, we will get overall details or all details of the car. Next, an object is placed in front of a plane. Okay, so this is the object, this is the view, and this is the location of the observer. An object is placed in front of a plane. This is the plane of projection. This is called as plane of projection. Object is placed in front. So idu munde ide object. So that is the meaning of object is placed in front of the plane of projection, and an observer is at the finite distance from the object. Observer is at the finite distance in this case. Okay, the rays from the observer's eyes. This is the eye of an observer, called visual rays. So these are the visual rays, pass through all the points on the contour of the object. Okay, so that means these rays, number of rays will pass. Here they are represented only 2, but there are number of rays which will pass through this object, and that will be projected on the plane of projection to get this view. Okay, and strike the plane of projection. The points at which the visual rays, that means these visual rays, strike the plane of projection. This is the plane of projection. The point at which visual rays strike the plane of projection means, so this is one such point, and this is another such point. Like that, there are n number of points. When you combine, when you join them, you will get this view. The points at which the visual rays strike the plane of projection, when joined, forms the view of the object on the plane of the projection. Okay. So what you can remember is, so if the observer is at finite distance, the visual rays will diverge. When the visual rays diverge, that means when the visual rays are not parallel to one another, then you are going to get the enlarged view on the plane of projection, which is of which is having less importance in engineering drawing. Since in engineering drawing we want actual size, okay, it is having less importance. Since the visual rays are diverging, the view of the object will be enlarged in size. So they are diverging, that means moving away from one another. Okay, diverging, we are going to get the enlarged size of the object. Okay, that is the enlarged in size. Here you can see this is the actual size. Comparatively, it is larger than this. That is the meaning of enlarged view. This enlarged view depicts the shape of the object. Again, you can see shape of the object remains same. Okay, since you are viewing from this direction, you are able to see the details which you are able to see from this direction. All the details remain same, but it is difficult to determine the true sizes of the object from the enlarged view. So either the object, the actual size ಏನಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ, because the extent of enlargement depends on the relative distances between the observer, object and the plane of projection. Okay, the size of enlargement or the extent or the percentage of enlargement depends on relative sizes of observer, object and plane of projection. ಈ ಮೂರನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ, so this enlargement will depend. Okay. Next, orthographic projection. For us, this is very important. Okay, so you have to focus on only orthographic projection. Need not worry about whatever we have discussed till now. Okay. So to obtain the view of an object, to obtain the view of an object to the same size of that of the object itself, the visual rays should run parallel to each other and perpendicular to the plane of projection. Okay, as we discussed earlier, we are going to get the actual size of the object when the visual rays, that is projectors, okay, travel parallel to one another like this. Okay, the visual rays should run parallel to each other and perpendicular to the plane of projection. Okay, this is the plane of projection. These projectors or visual rays, they are perpendicular. Okay, you are going to get actual size of the object when the projection follows or satisfies these two conditions. That is, projectors or visual rays are traveling parallel to one another, and they are making an angle of 90 degree. That is, they are perpendicular to plane of projection. This will only be possible when the observer is at infinite distance. Okay, we assume that observer will be kept at infinite distance. Okay, if we keep observer at finite distance, then we have to consider diverging visual rays. Okay, since in order to believe that the projectors will travel parallel to one another, we keep this observer at infinite distance. Okay, and the result is the view will be having actual size of the object. Since the visual rays called projectors are perpendicular to the plane of projection, ortho is nothing but 90 degrees. That is nothing but perpendicular. Okay, since the visual rays called the projectors are perpendicular to the plane of projection, the projected view is called orthographic view. So this is called as orthographic view of this object, and the method of projection is called orthographic projection. Okay, and this method of projection is called as orthographic projection. In orthographic projection, projectors or visual rays will move parallel to one another, and we are going to get the actual size of the object on the plane of projection. Okay, this is the overall summary which you have to remember. If you remember 2 points, that is enough. That means in orthographic projection, visual rays or projectors will travel parallel to one another, and we are going to get the actual size of the object. Okay, ಇಷ್ಟನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಇನ್ನು ಉಳಿದಿದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನು ತಲೆ ಕೆಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಬೇಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. Okay, so you will understand in a process. Okay, after few classes you will understand these concepts properly. Okay, this is what we have discussed till now. That means in normal projection we don't get actual size, we get enlarged size of the object. In orthographic projection we will get actual size of the object, and rays here, rays will travel so that they diverge from one another. Here they travel parallel to one another. So that is about orthographic projection. Next, principal views and principal planes of projection. Okay, here we discussed in order to get all details of a car. Okay, you have to view car from different directions. Okay, from this direction, from top, from side, then only you are able to get all the views. Okay, sorry, all the details of the car. Similarly, in orthographic projection, we have to view object from different directions, and we have to draw corresponding view on the plane of projection. Okay, so that's why this is the object, okay, used for representation. This is the object used for representation, and if you view the object from top, okay, it will be projected here. If you view the object from front, okay, these are the details which you can see, and it will be projected on a plane. And if you view the object from side, that is called as profile view, this side, this will be projected here. At the same time, we can also view the object from this side also, and that will be projected on another plane kept here. That is also possible. Okay, what you should know is, so we need different views. We need to look at an object from different direction. Okay, then only it is possible to get all details of an object. So you know, you are able to look at this. Okay, so you are able to look at these details. Okay, when you look from top. Okay, so when you are able to see, when you look from top, okay, where you will focus on. Okay, ನೀವು ನೆಲದ ಮೇಲೆ ನೋಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ? So if you want to see the ground, what will you do? How will you move your head? Whether you move it downwards, upwards, side, in which direction do you
Downwards.
move? Downwards. Okay. If you want to see, okay, whenever you are looking from top, so ಮೇಲಿಂದ ಹಿಂಗ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ನೋಡೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, so what we'll see is we'll see ground. Okay. What is the orientation of the ground? Whether it is vertical orientation, horizontal orientation?
Horizontal.
Horizontal. Okay.
Horizontal.
So now what we can realize from this is, so ನಾವು ಮೇಲಿಂದ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ನೆಲ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ, ನೆಲ ಹಾರಿಜಾಂಟಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. Okay, similarly we are going to get when you look the car from top. Okay, so this is the top view. ಈ ಟಾಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಈ ವ್ಯೂ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೊಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, it should be projected on horizontal plane. Horizontal plane is nothing but it is ground, or an imaginary plane which is parallel to ground is called as horizontal plane, or simply you can consider ground itself as a horizontal plane. ನೀವು ಮೇಲಿಂದ ನೋಡೋದೆಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕಾಣಬೇಕು. Okay, that is the horizontal plane. Okay, so now when you look straight forward, okay, what you can see, suppose if you are sitting in a room, ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ತರ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮುಂದೆ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ what you are able to see? So if you look downwards, you are able to see ground, that is nothing but floor of the room. Okay, if you look straight forward, what you are able to see in the room? Wall. What is the orientation of that wall?
Vertical.
Okay, so that means
Vertical.
if we look straight forward, that is if we look front, we will see vertical wall. Here we call that as vertical plane. Okay, nim munde iro vertical wall is nothing but that is the vertical plane which we are able to see. So here you can see you are looking straight forward at an object. Okay, where this will be projected? This will be projected on the vertical plane. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ನೇರ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ವಾಲ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನೋಡ್ತೀರಾ ರೂಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತಿದ್ರೆ, ಅದೇ ತರ ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಪ್ರೊಜೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆನ್ ಎ ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಪ್ಲೇನ್. ಅದೇ ನೀವು ಬಗ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಸಿ ದಿ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಆರ್ ಫ್ಲೋರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ರೂಮ್, that is nothing but that is the horizontal plane. Again, if you look at left side, okay, if you look at left in the room, what you are able to see? So itar left ತಿರುಗಿದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ? Again, there is another wall. Okay, what is the orientation of that wall on your left side?
Vertical.
Again, if you look towards right, okay, again if you look towards right in your room, what is the orientation?
Vertical.
That means what we can understand by this is the orientation of the horizontal plane is horizontal. That means it is parallel to ground, whereas the orientation of vertical and profile plane is vertical itself. Okay, vertical plane will be perpendicular to horizontal plane. Even profile plane also it will be perpendicular to horizontal plane, similar to side walls of the room. So they are also perpendicular to horizontal plane. Okay, then what is the angle between vertical plane and profile plane? That means the wall on the left side in your room and the wall at front, what is the angle between them? Okay, again they are perpendicular to one another. Okay, so this profile plane and vertical plane, so they are perpendicular to one another. Horizontal plane, profile plane also perpendicular, vertical and horizontal also perpendicular. But finally what we should remember is top view. That means if you look from top, the view will be projected on horizontal plane. ಮೇಲಿಂದ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ನೆಲ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ. That is nothing but if you look at an object and if you want to project that object, that will be projected on the horizontal plane. Okay, if you look at the object from front, it will be projected on the vertical plane. If you look at the object from this side, it will be projected on the profile plane or side plane. Okay, this you should remember. Ultimately, what you should remember is only 2 points. There are 3 planes. Okay, which are those 3 planes?
Horizontal plane, vertical plane,
Horizontal
profile
plane,
plane.
vertical plane.
Profile plane.
Profile plane. Okay. In orthographic projection, we make use of 3 planes. Okay, horizontal plane, vertical plane, and profile plane. Again, in profile plane, there may be 2 possibilities: left profile plane and right profile plane. That we'll discuss later. Okay, but principally there are 3 planes: horizontal, vertical, and profile. Okay. Next, this is one point you should remember. Another point is ಯಾವ plane ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವ view project ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು you should know. Okay, front view will be projected on which plane?
Vertical plane.
Vertical
plane.
Okay, top view?
Horizontal plane.
Horizontal plane.
Okay. Side view or profile view?
Profile
Both
plane.
are profile.
Profile plane.
Okay, so just remember these 2 points. Okay, need not worry much about other things. Okay, remaining thing you will learn. Need not worry about those things. Okay, just remember there are 3 planes. On horizontal plane, front view will be projected. On vertical plane, on vertical plane, front view will be projected. On horizontal plane, top view will be projected. And on profile plane, profile view or side views will be projected. Okay, just remember these things. Next, whatever we discussed, theory of that you can see in this PPT. Okay, principal views and principal planes of projection. The orthographic view obtained by projecting the object when the observer is viewing it from the front is called front view. Front view andre ನೀವು ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಂದ ನೋಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ನ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ವ್ಯೂ. ದಿ ವ್ಯೂ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು obtain when you look at an object from front, that is called as front view. Okay, the plane of projection on which the front view is projected is vertical, so it is called vertical plane. The front view alone cannot describe the shape and sizes of the object completely, as it shows only 2 out of 3 dimensions. We discussed this when we were discussing about the car. Okay, you are able to see only 2 dimensions in front view, that is height and width. Front view does not reveal the depth or breadth of the car. Okay, so that is the another dimension. Front view does not reveal one more dimension, that is depth of the object. In order to show the depth of the object, one more view is projected along with the front view. Okay, that may be top view. In most of the cases, front view will be drawn first, then top view. If required, if there are few more details on the side, okay, then we go for side view. In most of the drawings, you will see front and top view. In few drawings, in complicated objects, okay, where there are details on left and right side, you can see left and right profile view also. Okay, the depth of an object along with its width can be viewed from above, called the top view. That means ಮೇಲಿಂದ ನೋಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ top view ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. And the to project the top view, an horizontal plane is to be placed underneath the object. That is like ground. Okay, ಮೇಲ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ground ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ. That means we need horizontal plane to project the top view. Sometimes in order to show some details of an object which are lying either on its left or right side and cannot be understood clearly from the top and front view, side views are projected along with the top and front views. Like in car, okay, if you want to see the details on left and right side of the car, okay, you have to look from left side and right side, then only you will get those details. Like that, for some objects where there are few details which are lying on the sides, okay, we need to draw side views also. To project the profile views, side planes are required. The vertical, horizontal and profile planes are called the principal planes of projection. the views projected on them, namely, that means on vertical, we project front view, on horizontal, we project top view, on profile or side plane, we project side views. And these three are called as principal view. Front, top and side views are called as principal views. Vertical, horizontal and profile planes are called as principal planes of projection. We don't, whenever we are preparing drawings, okay, we don't write vertical plane in its full form. Instead, we write only VP. Okay, you should know the abbreviations. Okay, the vertical, horizontal and profile planes are abbreviated as VP. VP means vertical plane, HP means horizontal plane, and PP means profile plane. Okay, so these terms we use even in problems. Okay, they don't specify it as vertical plane. They say VP. VP andreno, HP andreno, PP andreno another. You should remember. Okay, so these are very important. If example questions they don't use vertical plane, they use VP, HP. Okay. Next, there is one more topic, okay, which I will cover in today's class. This is the last topic. Okay. So we discussed about principal planes of projection. Okay, there are three principal planes: horizontal plane, vertical plane, and profile plane. Okay, and also we discussed about three views: front view, top view, and profile view. Okay, and we discussed about orthographic projection. In orthographic projection, visual rays will move or will travel parallel to one another, and perpendicular, they will hit the plane at right angles, that is perpendicular to plane of projection. These things we discussed. Okay, last topic is in engineering drawing, we use a quadrant system. Okay, where there are 4 quadrants. Okay, so here consider two plane, horizontal plane and vertical plane. Already we discussed about what do I mean by horizontal plane and which view will be projected on this horizontal plane, and what do we mean by vertical plane, and which view will be projected on vertical plane. All those things we discussed already. Okay. Now consider a quadrant system. This quadrant system will have two planes. One is horizontal plane and another will be vertical plane. So this is a vertical plane and this is a horizontal plane. Okay. And these two will intersect one another. Okay, that line of intersection is called as xy line. Okay, this line we call it as xy and it is called as coordinate axis. Now, okay, need not worry about that. When we place a vertical plane and horizontal plane in this manner, okay, consider this as transparent planes. Okay, when we place vertical plane and horizontal plane in this manner, so it is possible for us to get 4 quadrants. One is this is one quadrant, this is another quadrant, and this is another quadrant, and this is another quadrant. Okay, if there is overall 360 degree, okay, so this quadrant will consume 90 degree, this will take 90, this will take 90 degree, and this will take 90 degree. Overall it will be 360 degree. Okay, so this 90 degree region is called as first quadrant. Between this vertical and this horizontal, this is first quadrant, and another 90 degree region between this vertical and this horizontal is called the second quadrant. This 90 degree region between this horizontal and vertical is third quadrant, and 90 degree region between this horizontal and this vertical is fourth quadrant. Like that, there are 4 quadrants, and there is an observer. Okay, and there will be an object. Okay, this is the position of the observer. Imagine this is the observer is at infinite distance. In reality, you cannot see that infinite, but now imagine that this is the position of the observer. He is at infinite distance and he is viewing an object. Okay, he is viewing an object. Now consider the object as it may be a point. Okay, consider object as point. Okay, so now suppose if the object is point like this. Okay, this is the horizontal plane. This is the horizontal plane. Okay, whether this object called point, this is red. Okay, this is point. Whether it is above horizontal plane or below horizontal plane. ಇದಿದ್ರ ಮೇಲಿದೆ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಇದೆಯಾ?
Above horizontal.
Above horizontal.
Above.
Okay. This is the vertical plane. Okay. Consider this as in front. Vertical plane ಮುಂದೆ. That means in front. ಈ ಕಡೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ behind ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಹಿಂಭಾಗ. So this is behind. That means ಹಿಂಭಾಗ. This is in front. That is ಮುಂಭಾಗ. Okay. Now what is the position of this point related to vertical plane? Whether it is in front or behind?
In front.
In front.
In front. Okay.
Right.
That means what you should be able to identify is if the object is kept, it may be a point or any other object. Okay. If the object is kept above horizontal plane and in front of vertical plane, we call the object is placed in first quadrant. Okay. On the object ಅಥವಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಒಂದು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ನ if you place it above horizontal plane and in front of vertical plane ಮುಂದೆ horizontal plane ಮೇಲೆ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ, we consider the object belongs to first quadrant. Okay, that is the meaning that you should remember. Okay, now consider another point. Same the object. ಈ object ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬದಲು ಬೇರೆ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ I will place. Okay, same object. Illiradana I will remove and I will keep it in another location. Okay, I will keep the same object here. Okay, what is its position relative to horizontal? Whether it is above or below?
Above.
Above.
Okay, it is above horizontal plane. What is its position related to vertical plane?
Behind.
Behind the vertical plane.
Okay, that means if an object is placed above horizontal plane and behind vertical plane, it is considered as the object is kept in second quadrant. That is the meaning, and that this much you should remember. Okay, next I will shift that same object to another location. Okay, so this is the new location. Again, observe the position of the observer will remain same. Okay, observer ilindale nododu. Okay, all these are transparent planes. He will be able to see the object if it is kept here. He will be able to see from this location only. Okay. Next, what is the position of this point? Whether it is below horizontal plane or above?
Below.
Below. Okay. What about its position related to vertical plane?
Behind.
Behind.
Okay, that means if an object is kept below horizontal plane and behind vertical plane, okay, then we say it is kept in third quadrant. Okay, that is the meaning. Okay, so now I will again move the object that is point to new location. Okay, what is its position related to horizontal? It is
Below.
okay, below horizontal. What about its position related to vertical plane?
In front.
In front. Okay.
In front.
If an object is kept below horizontal plane and in front of vertical plane, we say the object belongs to fourth quadrant. Okay, so like this, we use quadrant system. Okay. That means, okay, if the object lies at this position, that is the position of the pointer, above HP and in front of VP belongs to first quadrant. Okay, above HP and behind VP, second quadrant. Below HP and behind VP, third quadrant. Okay, below HP and in front of VP, fourth quadrant. So this, you should try to remember these things. Okay, so to the possible extent, try to visualize this representation and try to remember this. Okay, if an object is kept above horizontal plane and in front of vertical plane, it belongs to first quadrant. If an object is kept above horizontal plane and behind vertical plane, it belongs to second quadrant. If an object is kept below horizontal plane and behind vertical plane, okay, it will belong to third quadrant. If an object is kept below horizontal plane and in front of vertical plane, it will belong to fourth quadrant. This you should remember. That is one thing. Next, you have to consider another aspect related to this. That is relative position of observer, object and plane of projection. Okay, you have to consider the relative position now. We know the object, if it is placed here, it will belong to first quadrant, that we know. Okay, so this is if you look from front, okay, this is the position for front view. Okay, front view will be projected on which plane?
Vertical plane.
Vertical plane. Okay, this is the position of the observer. Observer will look at this object and it will be projected on the vertical plane. Okay, or if you get confused, if I place here for your convenience, I will place the object. Okay, so here it is above HP and in front of VP, it is in first quadrant. Okay, so observer will look at this object and it will be projected on VP, vertical plane. Okay, what is the relative position of plane of projection, that is vertical plane, object and observer? Now object is in between observer and plane of projection. ಇದೆರಡರ ಮಧ್ಯೆ object ಇದೆ. Okay, so this is first quadrant. If it is kept anywhere in first quadrant, the object will be in between observer and plane of projection. So in case of front view, if you look from this direction, okay, this is the position of the observer and this is the plane of projection, and object is in between observer and plane of projection. Again, for top view, this is the position of the observer. Okay, observer, this is the position of the observer, this is the plane of projection, object is between observer and plane of projection. Okay, so this is the condition for first quadrant or condition for first angle projection. Okay, if we get projection of an object by keeping the object in first quadrant, we call that as first angle projection. The condition of first angle projection is object is between observer and plane of projection. As you see here, this is the object, it is between observer and plane of projection. Okay, next, the position of the observer will remain same, but the position of object will change. Okay, so this is the position of the object. It is in second quadrant. But what is the relative position? Yav central ide, yav akade ikade ide.
Plane is in between object and observer.
Yes, okay, you have correctly observed. Okay, so when the object is kept in second quadrant, it is called as second angle projection. In second angle projection, relative position of object, observer and plane of projection is like this. Okay, plane of projection will be between observer and object. Okay, so this is the condition. So next, if it is kept in third quadrant, okay, again, what is the relative position? So this is the observer, this is the object. Which is in between observer and object?
Plane.
Again, plane of projection. Okay.
Plane.
Okay, so we need to consider this also. Okay. If it is not for other quadrants, okay, if you get confused, just remember for first quadrant. Since we use only first angle projection in engineering drawing, okay, so it is again based on the Bureau of Indian Standards, okay, based on BIS convention. Now we are following only first quadrant or first angle projection. Okay, just remember in first angle projection, object is in between plane of projection and observer. That is sufficient. Okay, so similarly you can find the relative position of the object with observer and plane of projection, like what we have discussed. Okay, but just remember in case of first angle projection, object is in between, so plane of projection and observer. Okay, in case of third angle projection, okay, so plane of projection will be in between observer and object. Okay, remember these two things. Next, again, this is the summary of whatever we have discussed till now related to quadrant system. When the vertical and horizontal planes bisect each other like this, four quadrants are formed. Okay, this is better compared to this illustration. Okay, this is better to visualize the four quadrants. Okay, this is first quadrant, this is second quadrant, this is third quadrant, and this is fourth quadrant. Okay, when the vertical and horizontal planes bisect each other like this, four quadrants are formed. This is first quadrant, second, third, and fourth. The line of intersection of the horizontal and vertical planes is designated as XY. This is the line of intersection. Okay, this is called as XY. The four quadrants are, this is the first quadrant, second, third, fourth. Okay, first, second, third, fourth. That is numbered as first, second, third, and fourth. Okay. The directions of sight of the observer for the front and top view remain same for all the four quadrants. We kept the position of the observer constant. For front view, observer will be kept at this location at infinite distance. For top, he will be kept at this location for all the four quadrants. Okay, that is the meaning of this point. Okay, this completes today's class. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Okay.